Okay, so this tutorial is going to cover how to block in a painting at its beginning stages. I've got my drawing that one of my students did for me taped to a drawing board. I've got the photograph that I'm looking at taped right up here. I'm right-handed, so I like to tape my images to the left side so that my hand's not blocking the image when I'm trying to look at it. This particular lesson that I'm doing with my students, I'm just having them copy a master painting so that they can improve their painting technique. It's just the beginning steps of learning how to paint. So when I block out a painting, I get the main colors that I think I'm going to use. So I've got those in my palette right here. And I like to have a nice big flat brush so that I can block in areas quickly and just get paint on the paper as quickly as possible. I'll go through and clean everything up on the next layer. I've also got a couple of paper towels so that if I've got excess paint on my paintbrush, I can wipe it off here. And I've got a jar of water to clean the paintbrush in between using it. It doesn't really matter where you start, so I'll just pick a spot that looks interesting to me and start there. Or if you're worried that your paint is going to stay wet, you don't want to be putting your hand in wet paint, you could start on the left side if you're right-handed and on the right side if you're left-handed. I'm just going to choose a basic color and paint everything that I see that's that color. I'm drawn to this color right here, so I'm going to start with that. When I'm mixing the color, I always scoop the lightest color first. And I'm starting with white, and I'm going to add yellow to it and add green to that. I started with white and I added yellow and green. And I'm going to try to get close to that, but if it doesn't match it completely the first go around, it's okay, because I'm probably going to do a second layer of paint. This particular paint that we're using in the classroom is fairly thin, and it's pretty transparent on the paper, so we usually need another layer anyway. So now that I've got the color I want, I'm going to start applying it in the places where I see it. I'm trying to use the brush to go in the directions that the brush strokes are going here, but I'm not worrying about any detail yet. I'm just getting color on here quickly. Don't worry if you go over a shape like right here. You can go back and bring that shape back out. I can still see my pencil line underneath it, so I'm not stressing out about covering up some of that arm shape. When I'm mixing colors, using a palette like this, I generally have like a darker side and a lighter side, and I mix colors directly on top of that. Sometimes if you squint or if you're able to make your eyes blurry, you can see the value more easily. Right here on this part of the skin, I'm looking for the lightest value first, and I see that this little strip of light value and this little spot on her shoulder would be good to paint first. So I'm going to get this on here and then move to the darker value. Also, when you're painting and you have it up on an easel, you can use your pinky against the canvas or board to stabilize your hand so that you have more control. And now I'll come in with a darker value. There's a lot more subtle changes in the skin tone, but I'm going to go and do that later. I'm just going to get some basic value in there right now.
you.